All right, y'all. So I want to talk more about these turnkey fees that I've seen from Harrison County. This is crazy. This is, as I said in another video, a friend of mine got arrested. Not excusing his arrest, not excusing the crime that he was convicted of. Him and his wife. Not excusing anything. Not going to comment on whether I think they're guilty or innocent because it's irrelevant. That's up for a judge and jury to decide. As it should be. I have my own opinions on what I think, but I've already expressed that to both of them, and that's private. That's between me and them. Um, but I will say that their arrest gave me an opportunity to see these turnkey fees in action. They had quite a few old charges that they were picked up on, as well as the new charges. And again, I'm not gonna name drop. Not gonna get into it. I'm specifically doing this to address the turnkey fees. One of them had like 6 or 7 charges, different case numbers, most of them misdemeanor. There was a felony in there, but most of them were misdemeanor charges. The new one was the felony. The old ones were all misdemeanors. And they were low bonds. Now, I'm a former bail bondsman, as I've said. I know bail bonds, how to write them, how to bail soliciting license and a bail enforcement license. Bail soliciting means that I can write to get you out of jail. I no longer have either one, but just so you understand the difference, soliciting is the ability to drop a bond and get you released from custody. Um, Bail enforcement is the ability to, if you fail to meet the bond conditions, um, return you back to custody. Harrison County, as I said in the last video, um, did not have a turnkey fee for years. As a matter of fact, I first started bail bonding back in 2015, and they didn't have a turnkey fee. There was no turnkey fee. Jackson County had one. It's $26. Hancock County had one. It's 25. Stone County, that was 25. George County was 25, and they only accepted money orders. But Harrison County never had one. Now, all of a sudden, Matt Haley has come in, and he's actually done something a whole lot worse than just the turnkey fees. This, in my opinion, is probably going to get him sued, and he's going to lose. Actually, let me back up. He's going to get sued. We're going to lose. We, as in the citizens of Harrison County who pay taxes, we are going to lose. Because when a department gets sued, we the people suffer. When I'm sheriff, my goal is to have zero lawsuits against the county because we're going to do everything by the book, by the law, above board, and I would like to not put us in a position to get sued. And if we do get sued, which granted, people get sued for any reason, I would like to try to curb that as much as possible. My opinion, Matt Haley's looking for a lawsuit against him. And I hate it. I don't want to see it. It's unnecessary. This is what he's doing, okay? I spoke to a bondsman, I'm not going to say his name or company, yesterday. And what I found out was he's not letting anybody bond out after 10 p.m. That was a Brizzolera policy. Troy Peterson, though I fundamentally disagree with a lot of what he did as sheriff, I agree with him. And this is why in 2015 I actually voted for him, was because of this. He took that off and said, nope, anybody can bail out 24 hours, and to hold somebody longer than necessary was a violation of the Eighth Amendment. That is what he said to me. And I said, on that right there, we agree. And because of that, I'll vote for you. Not because at the time I was a bondsman, but because it was the right thing to do. Matt Haley has reversed this 10 years later. Now you can't bond out after 10 p.m. You cannot write a large bail bond over $100,000 on the weekends in Harrison County, I was told. Why? The law is very clear. Surety ensures that the bail bond's going to be covered. That's why a lot of companies are now limited surety. Some of them are still personal surety, but it doesn't matter. The law says that they can write. If they have a power of attorney valued at or exceeding the amount of the bail bond, they can drop the bond and get the defendant out of jail. It's that simple, people. If you have $150,000 bond, which $150,000 bond tells me it's probably a pretty serious crime. But if you have it and you find a bail bondsman willing to write the bond, let's say you have $15,050 plus the turnkey fee. What is the problem on writing this bail bond on the weekend? Why would you hold somebody in jail longer than they need to be held? And here's the other thing, too. Back on the turnkey fee, I did find out that if it is different case numbers, you have to drop a different bond. Each bail bond that you drop is $150 minimum. It's if it's less than $1,000, it's $150. If you live in the state of Mississippi, it's 10% plus $50. Or 10% of 1,000 if it's less than 1,000 plus $50. If you live outside of the state of Mississippi, the premium goes up to 15%. So if you live outside the state of Mississippi and your bail bond is, say, $500, it's going to cost you $200 plus the turnkey fee to get released. So each case number requires a separate bail bond. Each case number requires a separate turnkey fee in Harrison County. So if you have 4 charges and one of them's new and 3 of them are capias, but they're different case numbers, in addition to paying your bail bondsman, you have to now pay the county, the jail, $100. $25 per turnkey fee. That seems awfully, awfully punitive. I understand being tough on crime. I 100% get being tough on crime. I want to be tough on crime. I want a sheriff that's going to be tough on crime. 100%. However, this is not how you do it. This seems to me it smacks of being illegal. I ain't got no problem being tough on crime. I ain't got no problem locking somebody up. I'm all for it. I'm 100% here for it. Break the law, you go to jail. Period. If it's an offense that you need to go to jail for, 100%. Take your ass to jail. 100%. No problem with it. But what's the purpose of a bail bond? What is the job of a bail bondsman? Bail bondsman has 2 jobs. Get the defendant released. That's how the bail bondsman gets a client, is they get the defendant released. The second job of that is to ensure that the defendant goes to court. One way or the other. Either the defendant will show up to court voluntarily, or if they miss court, the job of the bail bondsman is to return the defendant to jail, surrender the bond, and ensure that the defendant goes to court that way because the defendant did not comply with the conditions of the bail bond. It's that simple. As long as those 2 jobs are done, what's the problem? Why throw all these punitive roadblocks in there? A turnkey fee, $25 to do your job. We, the county, we, the citizens of Harrison County, are already paying these deputies to do their job. They're getting a paycheck for it. I understand there could be a lot of revenue generation from this. I get it. But at what cost? It seems to me that putting hurdles in people's way to get out of jail just it seems to violate the 8th Amendment in my opinion. I would argue that these having to put multiple turnkey fees down would violate the 8th Amendment's prohibition of unreasonable fines. Because that goes right along with the bail. Now, if the state really wanted to do this, they could be like Louisiana and charge 2% to the jail. Louisiana is 12%. You pay 10 to the bail bondsman, 2% to the parish prison. If Mississippi really wanted to do that, maybe I can understand that. At least that's the way they used to do it. I don't know. I've never wrote bail in Louisiana. I'm just the way I understand it from talking to people who used to write bail in Louisiana, and I believe it's still that way though. I do believe it's 2% of the bail bond goes to the jail. So if you have a $10,000 bond, then you know cost you $1,000 to get out, and what 200 of it would go to the jail or whatever. That's codified in Louisiana revised statutes. Why didn't we have a turnkey fee for the last at least 10 years that I know of and brought it back? Could it have something to do with the consent decree that we were under? That's what I want to know. I think it did. I don't remember when the last time there was a turnkey fee at Harrison County. I'd have to go do some research on it. But I know for years we operated without one. Here's the other thing too. It could take up to 8 hours to get somebody released from Harrison County. Why is that? I know I wrote bonds at Stone County, and by the way, Stone County Regional Correctional Facility has usually 6 COs on staff. 6. And I am going to name drop on this one. When I was working at Stone County, let's say Miss Jewel, love Miss Jewel to death, by the way. Love that woman. Great woman. Known her for a long time. Miss Jewel from D&D Bell Bonds, she works for Justin and Wayne Dowdle, would show up at the jail. I'm here for John Smith. So we bring her back into booking. We go get the defendant, do all the paperwork, find out if she's actually going to write the bond, run an NCIC on him to make sure that he's able to be released. There's no wants or warrants that popped up on him. Take him into county TPU, or county, TPU, STU. Ugh, acronyms. Take him into county STU, let him go in the shower, dress out into his civvies, bring him back out, take possession of the bail bond, log it in, do whatever we had to do to it, and he's out the door in just about 45 minutes. Why does it take so long in Harrison County? And don't tell me, oh, well, Harrison County's a bigger county, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it is. Harrison County houses what? 700 and something inmates? But how many COs does Harrison County have on shift? Stone County houses about 400. I think their maximum capacity is like 450, somewhere in that area. 450, 480, something like that. Um, with 6 COs. Why does Harrison County take so much longer than Stone County does to process it? It makes no sense to me as a CO. See, I've seen all 3 sides of the jail. I had me a cell in Harrison County when I was 18 for driving under suspended license. That was a long time ago. I ain't been arrested since. I learned my lesson. I've seen it as a bail bondsman. I've seen it as a correctional officer. I was never a CO at Harrison County, but I've been a CO in other places. Um, yeah, it makes no damn sense. Why aren't people asking these questions? The average person probably won't have to worry about it, but there's a chance that the average person might. Just because you get locked up does not necessarily mean you're a bad person. It means that it could mean that, you could be innocent. That's up to a jury to decide, or a judge to decide, or you to plead guilty. That's not up to the sheriff to decide. That's why we have courtrooms. That's why we have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in this country. It's a great system. We ought to try it sometime. Um, and I'm not a hug a thug. Those that have worked corrections with me will tell you I'm the furthest thing from a hug a thug. But I do believe in fair treatment. I do believe in being reasonable, being just. And I 100% believe that if you've met all the criteria to be released, release them. Does anybody want them? No. Has the bond been dropped? Yes. Is the bonding agent on our list? Yes. Is everything in order? All the paperwork in order? Yes. If it's a misdemeanor, have you given the court date? Yes. If it's a felony, have they submitted the bail bond for justice and circuit court? Yes. Is everything done properly? We're good here. All right, dress them out, kick them out. It's that simple. It's 100% that simple. Not this extra bullshit and that's what it is. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. It's punitive at best. And at worst, it's illegal. I think it's illegal. I need to take a look at the law to confirm it, but my gut tells me it's got to be illegal. It's certainly not fair and it's certainly improper. This goes back to when I was a kid and I used to stand in front of a flag and I used to put my hand over my heart and at the end of it, with liberty and justice for all. I don't think charging people a turnkey fee falls under justice. The jail's already getting paid with county money, with tax dollars. Why are we doing this kind of stuff? What sense does it make that we're doing this? I'll answer none. 0 cents. I'm going to continue to speak out about this. Don't put it past me. Don't put it past me to use my independent journalism mind to call up there and get comment from the sheriff, and I doubt he takes my call because he knows I don't like him. I'm sure he's seen some of my videos and probably laughed, and that's okay. That's okay, Matt. You can laugh. But you know you're doing something wrong. I know deep in your heart you know you're doing something wrong. And it's not because my friends were arrested. Hey, you know what? They were arrested. They had a legitimate reason that somebody thought that they should go to jail for whatever. I'm cool with that. It'll go to court and get figured out in court whether they're guilty or not. If they're guilty, my opinion is, hey, they get what they got. And they know how I feel about it. I've already told them. Is this a way to try to get people to not have old fines? Maybe. But let's talk about why people have old fines. Ooh, had to turn that heater down. That thing kicks in this truck. Why do people have old fines? It could be that they don't care. You have those people. Oh, it's whatever. I'll deal with it whenever I deal with it. There's people like that out there. There's also people who have financial reasons why they don't have old fines or why they have old fines. Some people just forgot about it. None of that negates the responsibility of the defendant. My opinion is you should always follow the orders of the court. You don't like what the court says, appeal it. It's that simple. We got a great justice system in this country. But if they have old fines, yeah, they probably need to pay them. You're not going to get an argument with me on that. But let's not be overly punitive about the old fines. If they have old fines and they go to court and the judge says, okay, well, let's give them another chance. To give you an idea, Gulfport Municipal Court has a great way of doing this. They have open court. I think it's every Thursday at 12 o'clock is open court. If you have old fines, you come in there and get them taken care of right then. You just walk into court. You don't need an appointment. You don't need an additional court date. You probably have a warrant for your arrest. But you walk in and say, excuse me, Your Honor, my name is Anthony Allen. I apologize that for the last 6 months, have forgot about this traffic ticket that I didn't pay, or forgot about this fine that I had, or whatever. How do I get this taken care of? And if you need another payment plan, they'll probably work with you on it. Gulfport does it right as far as that goes. They do a lot of stuff wrong, but they do that right. I wish every municipal and justice court did that. I think it would be a great way for people to clear up these old fines. And if they get arrested because they have a warrant for their arrest, okay, well, you owed the city $500. You've spent 6 days in jail. And to save money on this, by the way, something I would like to try, and of course, it would take the this would take the cooperation of municipal court and justice court on this. I can't force their hand because judges have broad powers to pretty much do almost whatever they want to do. Well, let's do a Zoom meeting from the jail. I know circuit court will allow a Zoom meeting from the jail. Let's do a Zoom meeting during open court. Okay, well, Your Honor, I was arrested because I forgot about this trespassing warrant, this trespassing ticket that I needed to pay, where I was found guilty. I forgot about this traffic ticket. I forgot about this, you know, misdemeanor marijuana possession ticket. While I'm here in jail, how do I clear this up? Well, Mr. Allen, you've been in here for 6 days. Unfortunately, you were arrested right after the last court, so we're going to give you, let's see, your fine was $800 with all your tickets that you owed. You've spent 6 days in. We'll give you credit for however much money a day that the county is paying or giving you off your fines. I don't know what that is. I'd love to find that out. Okay, so you can either you can pay this much money and get out today, or you can wait until 3 days from now and it's all taken care of, or whatever the case is. And I'm just pulling numbers and days and stuff out of thin air. That's helping people. They're in there. They're serving time on their stuff. It's getting taken off because in lieu of payment, they're serving time for it. I know George County gives $100 a day. I don't know what Harrison County gives, but I know for a fact George County gives $100 a day. I don't know about any other county. The reason I know George County gives $100 a day is I had another buddy of mine when I was a bail bondsman call me up, and he owed the city of Lucedale like $3,500 in traffic tickets. Hey, that's a lot. I will grant you that. Um, and he was told, hey, you could bond out on this $3,500, or you've already been in here for 3 weeks, sit for 35 days, and it's taken off. I told him, I said, your best bet is to sit for 35 days and just, you don't owe anything. I said, hell, after 35 days, I said, if you don't owe nobody else traffic tickets and you learn to, you know, quit doing what you doing, you could probably get your damn driver's license back. Maybe. But there's just, there's ways to do this. And there's ways not to do this. The way Matt Haley's doing this, I 100% disagree with. I'm wondering something though, and I'm going to ask again. I'm probably not going to get a call back, but I am going to call the sheriff and leave him a voicemail. I don't expect a call back. Um, I am going to record the call though. I want to know if somebody puts a cash bond down as their turnkey fee. I've seen some low bonds like $50. I've seen them at $100 for old bonds. Why somebody would pay a bail bondsman to get somebody out of jail on a $50 or $100 bond makes no sense to me. When it's going to cost you $150 to write the bond, you can give the county cash and come out cheaper. Um, is there a turnkey fee on cash bonds? That's what I want to know. Just seems awfully punitive to me. Anyway, just my thoughts. Y'all have a good day. Anthony Allen for Sheriff, Harrison County, 2027.